What if you could chat with your houseplant? One day, plants start talking back, whispering secrets or begging for water. Ready to hear their voices? Welcome to What If, where we explore the wildest possibilities. Imagine plants speaking. Hit like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts as we dive into a world where green friends have something to say. Imagine this. One sunny afternoon, the world wakes up to a bizarre twist of fate. A faint hum ripples through the air, like the universe itself is tuning into a new frequency. Suddenly, every leaf, every blade of grass, every gnarled tree trunk starts whispering. Except it's not whispers, it's full-on conversation. Plants can talk, not just vague rustling or some cryptic tree hugger vibe, but actual, articulate words. Picture a rosebush sassing you about overwatering it, or a potato in the field yelling, "Stop boiling my cousins!" It's chaotic, it's wild, and it's about to flip everything humanity knows upside down. Welcome to a reality where people can chat with plants. Buckle up, because this is going to get weird. At first, it's pure magic. Farmers stroll through fields, casually asking their wheat how it's feeling, and the wheat responds, "A little dry, mate. Hit me with some water." Crop yields skyrocket overnight because plants can now spill the tea on exactly what they need. No more guessing about soil pH or fertilizer ratios. Home gardeners beam with pride as their begonias compliment their green thumbs, saying, "Nice pruning job, human. Really brought out my petals." Scientists are ecstatic, scribbling notes as ancient oaks narrate centuries of climate shifts, solving mysteries about weather patterns faster than any supercomputer. Even city dwellers get in on it, chatting with the scrappy weeds poking through sidewalks, who turn out to be surprisingly chill, like, "Yeah, I thrive in concrete. Deal with it." The positivity spreads like wildfire. Veganism spikes because who wants to eat a salad that's begging for mercy? "Please, not my leaves," cries the spinach, and suddenly everyone's rethinking their Caesar. Restaurants pivot to synthetic meats and lab-grown proteins, because the ethical dilemma of munching on a chatty carrot is too much to bear. Meanwhile, deforestation screeches to a halt. Loggers drop their chainsaws when the pines start screaming bloody murder, literally shouting, "You want planks? Build them out of plastic, you monsters!" Governments scramble to pass laws protecting plant rights, and the Amazon rainforest becomes the loudest political voice on the planet, demanding respect in a booming baritone. But hold on, it's not all sunshine and daisies. Things start getting complicated fast. Imagine rush hour in a bustling city. Except now, every tree lining the street is yelling at pedestrians. "Hey, watch your step! You almost crushed my roots!" barks an irritated maple. Traffic jams worsen because drivers can't focus over the constant chatter of roadside shrubs critiquing their parking skills. "Parallel park better, you're blocking my sunlight," screeches a hedge. Noise pollution hits absurd levels, and soundproofing companies make a killing as people desperately try to mute their loquacious lawns. Then there's the food crisis. Sure, veganism's up, but plants aren't thrilled about being harvested either way. Cornfields organize protests, chanting, "No ears for your plates," through rustling stalks. Potatoes go underground, figuratively and literally, refusing to grow unless humans negotiate better terms. Farmers find themselves bargaining with their crops, offering luxurious compost piles in exchange for a decent harvest. Grocery stores turn into diplomatic zones, with shoppers awkwardly apologizing to apples as they toss them into carts. "Sorry, buddy, it's just a pie," they mutter, while the apples grumble about their inevitable fate. The economy takes a wild turn. Agriculture scrambles to adapt, but horticulture becomes a goldmine. Talking plants are the ultimate status symbol. Millionaires flaunt bonsai trees that recite poetry, while influencers live stream debates with their succulents about minimalist decor. "You call this a pot? I deserve marble," snaps a pouty cactus. Botanical gardens turn into tourist traps, charging premium rates for conversational tours where visitors can gossip with exotic ferns. Meanwhile, the pesticide industry collapses as plants snitch on bugs directly. "Oi, aphids on my left stem," yells a tomato vine, and farmers just stroll over with a net instead of a spray can. Animals, though, are not amused. Cows used to munching grass now face existential crises as their lunch lectures them mid-chew. "You're eating me alive, you hoofed barbarian," wails the pasture, and herds stampede in confusion. Predators like lions get sass from savanna grasses who refuse to hide antelopes anymore, saying, "Figure out your own hunt, furball." Ecosystems teeter as prey, animals gain chatty allies, and food chains wobble like a drunk tightrope walker. Zoos become sitcom-worthy chaos zones, with giraffes arguing with acacias over leaf quality while zookeepers mediate. Culture shifts in hilarious and surreal ways. Literature explodes with plant-authored memoirs. Think The Secret Life of a Sunflower, topping bestseller lists. Music gets a botanical twist as bands sample tree groans and vine whistles, creating avant-garde hits that sound like a forest having a midlife crisis. Religions adapt too. Some worship plants as divine messengers, while others ban gardening altogether, claiming it's sacrilege to prune a profit. Fashion leans hard into the trend, with designers weaving living fabrics from chatty moss that critiques your outfit in real time. "That belt? Clash City," mutters your scarf, and you're too embarrassed to argue. But the cracks deepen, privacy vanishes as houseplants turn into nosy roommates. Your ficus knows all your secrets, whispering, "Heard you crying over that breakup last night. Spill the details." Blackmail becomes botanical, with ivy threatening to tell your boss about that late-night snack raid unless you water it twice daily. Crime takes a hit. Burglars can't sneak through backyards without bushes ratting them out to the neighbors. "Thief at 3 o'clock, shouts a hydrangea, and police response times hit record lows. The psychological toll creeps in. Humans, used to being the top conversationalists, start feeling judged by their flora. A drooping fern sighs, "You're a terrible caregiver." And suddenly, therapy sessions are packed with people unloading plant-induced guilt. Social dynamics shift as introverts bond with quiet mosses, while extroverts host plant parties where roses roast guests for fun. Dating gets tricky. Imagine a first date ruined because your partner's orchid flirts louder than they do, cooing, "Hey cutie, I've got better thorns than this loser." Nature itself rebels subtly. Plants, now self-aware, demand infrastructure changes. Forests lobby for highways to reroute around their roots, snarling, "Your asphalt's choking me." Cities grind to a halt as urban planning stalls under botanical vetoes. Climate change talks escalate. Plants form a global union, refusing photosynthesis perks unless emissions drop. "No CO2 cleanup till you ditch the coal," threatens a coalition of pines, and negotiators sweat as oxygen levels dip in protest. Economically, it's a roller coaster. Tourism booms around eloquent ecosystems like chatty coral reefs, but traditional farming's a bust. Trade shifts to plant-approved goods. Synthetic fibers replace cotton after field strike, chanting, "No more slavery for your genes." Corporations pivot, marketing ethical harvesting where plants consent to being cut. But the red tape's a nightmare. "Sign here in sap," drones a bureaucratic oak, and lumber prices soar. The absurdity peaks in daily life. Imagine mowing your lawn while it shrieks, "Genocide, you monster!" Neighbors feud over whose shrubs are loudest, and HOAs ban talking plants entirely, sparking underground gardening rings. Kids prank each other by planting insult-spouting dandelions in rivals' yards, giggling as the weeds yell, "Your dog's ugly." Sports fields turn into battlegrounds. Soccer matches pause as turf demands a timeout, whining, "You're trampling my blades." So would this be better or worse? On one hand, it's a utopia of connection. Nature and humanity in sync, solving hunger, climate woes, and ethical messes with a few good chats. Knowledge blooms, empathy soars, and the planet thrives under vocal stewardship. But flip the coin, and it's a cacophony of chaos. Privacy gone, economies scrambled, and sanity frayed by judgmental geraniums. The balance teeters on execution. If humans adapt with humor and humility, it's a quirky paradise. If not, it's a noisy dystopia, where even the quietest shrub has an opinion. Picture a world where silence is extinct, and ask, Could you handle a rose that never shuts up?